the most important thing for me is gender equality. And there is discrimination, and I want to make sure that gender equality has to be there.
Oh, look, for me, I think sport definitely has the power to change the world. I mean, you see that every day. Nations playing against each other. Sometimes they're at war, but then they get on the sporting field and they play against each other in a friendly manner. So that's a great example of sport bringing countries together. I think with the Laureus World Sports Academy and the Sport for Good Foundation, we have a number of projects which gives kids opportunities. So sport is a very powerful tool to get people engaged together. And I think particularly in India, where there's a population of 1.4 billion people, it's sport
Absolutely.
unites your nation. I mean, what does cricket mean to your nation?
100%. I think sport has the power to change your life. When every individual thinks of engaging in any sport, it has the power to find its own path. It's like water flowing. You can't block it. If somebody is talented, it's going to find its way. It shaped my life. From my own experience, I can say that I was a naughty kid. The moment I started playing cricket, it gave direction to my life. I became disciplined, more organized. I started thinking about the game. I had a dream, I had vision, and then eventually you chase your dream, and that keeps you engaged on a right track, and you continue moving forward. And that is what sport does to you. And then of course, when I taught down under to play against Steve, we were competitive on the field, but off the field, you end up making friends who are there with you forever, and that is something that we treasure. And all this happens through sport.
Yeah, 100% I agree with that. I mean, I was the same as you as a kid. Like, sport was everything to me, 24/7. I play soccer, cricket, tennis, golf, table tennis, anything to get me outside and active, and that's really important for kids to get out there. And particularly India. What are you the pressure when you used to go to bat for India, like 1.4 billion, 1.3 billion people, just riding on your every move, and if you're scoring runs, that the whole country was happy. As soon as you get out, people left the ground. So how did you handle that pressure?
Why do you think I used to always have those earphones on?
Yeah, well,
before I got to the ground, I used to enjoy my music. I used to be in my own world. Of course, there are going to be expectations, but I would have felt stupid if I was walking out and nobody expecting anything out of me.
Sure.
I like people expecting something out of me, and that happened only because they'd had good experiences in the past.
Yeah, sure.
So you build on your reputation, and you want to get better and better in life, and that journey is an ongoing journey.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that process, and there were ups and downs. That's fine. Sport teaches you so many things.
Particularly against Australia. Wasn't too many downs against us, but
tell me how has been your experience touring India, because you've come to India so many times.
That's a good point. 1986, well before you're in the Indian setup. That was my first tour, and coming to India was like landing on another planet. I mean, coming from the western suburbs of Sydney, where I was well looked after and isolated, coming to India, a population of over 1 billion people, and just things going on everywhere, like the sounds, the sights, the smells. It was like a barrage of everything coming in, and then playing on the cricket grounds on pitches I'd never seen before, like we're turning a long way. I hadn't had much experience there. So the first tour to India was a real shock to the system. I didn't know whether I loved India or whether I disliked India. But every time I went back, I fell in love more with the place, because people are so passionate, so humble and relaxed. And I just saw the power of sport in India, like kids playing out in the streets in cricket. They didn't have much material wealth, but they could find a bat and a ball, and they could make stumps out of stones. And I was there a couple of weeks ago, and I was amazed that wherever I looked around, there were kids playing cricket, and they just found a couple of pieces of stone, some bricks, put out the stumps,
that's
and
how
out
I
they
grew
went.
up.
And that's how you started.
That's how I grew up.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever you have to make the best of it, and that's how you move forward. And
that's a great example of the power of the sport. You don't need much, you just need enthusiasm, some encouragement, and some mates, and away you go.
100%, I totally agree. And for me, when I toured Australia for the first time, I was only 17, 1991, 92.
Yep.
We ended up spending about 4.5 months in Australia. I almost had an Aussie accent by the time I got back to India. But I enjoyed. I mean, I thought that was kind of a foundation to my international career, because Australians, as we all know, are very competitive, and then they'll make your life difficult when you're out there in the middle competing against them. And it's not just those 11 players, the entire country, is against you,
We only have
hoping
20
that you
million, you
fail.
got 1 billion though.
But if you perform well, they are the first ones to applaud. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed that competitiveness, and I also enjoyed the sportsman spirit because
Sure.
Australia being a sporty nation, you go out and you see people playing in parks
Yeah.
all the time, different sport, and that is what
Yeah.
my experience about Australia is.
Look, I think for me, I played Test cricket pretty young as well, as a 20-year-old, and it was turmoil in Australian cricket at the time because we'd lost players to the Rebel
right.
Tour of South
That's
Africa, Lily Marsh and Chappell retired, and I don't think I was ready to play national cricket. So for me, I was not so much out of my depth, but mentally I wasn't strong enough, and it took me a number of years to sort of believe in Test cricket. I could handle one-day cricket no problem, but Test cricket was a bit of a battle. Our team wasn't a great team. In fact, the first Test match I played, Alan Border, the captain, had played more Test matches than the rest of the team combined. So we were really a novice team, and it took a long while to feel comfortable playing Test match cricket. So, but I was going to ask Sachin a question before, because the first time I went to India, I got sick and I couldn't eat the food. I didn't like curries, and it was so different for me. How did you find the Australian food when you came as a 17-year-old?
I'm a big time foodie, so I eat
Oh, you're fine.
everything.
Yeah.
It could be from Japanese to Thai to
Okay.
Malaysian, Indian sometimes because when I'm touring.
Yeah.
Then I like to experience local food, and I enjoy doing that. So that was never a problem for me. The biggest problem was to control my diet because I saw whatever and
I'm
I
the
just
same. I love food as
ended
well.
up eating.
Definitely got something
But luckily
in
age
common
was
there.
on my side, so
Yeah.
so body could digest that. Not anymore.
The Laureus, these awards are really important because in 2002 the Australian cricket team won the sports team in the world, and that was a big moment for cricket because I felt I'd been to a couple of Laureus events before that, and cricket was sort of thought of not as a mainstream sport. It was sort of like a bit of an extra, and when we won that in 2002, it sort of put cricket in the spotlight. So the awards are really special to me that we won as a team in 2002. And each year you come back and you see these amazing sports people and what they've achieved, and it's the best of the best, and you realise the one thing in common that everyone has is they've worked really hard to get where they are.
Over the years, you end up meeting so many great personalities who achieved so much in life. You get to learn from them, and I've been fortunate enough to bump into so many guys. But overall, to be here at the Laureus Awards, you meet many more, and sometimes even someone who you've not followed, but once you read about them, you know exactly what they've been able to achieve. And I've had those experiences at the Laureus Awards as well.
Yeah, well, I've been fortunate to be a member now for quite a while, so I've been to a lot of the Laureus Sport for Good projects, and the thing I love about it is the kids get opportunities they wouldn't otherwise get, and when they come from a background where they haven't got much, they really appreciate it, and they just give 100% the whole time, and their commitment and dedication is just, it is inspirational. I love just seeing the kids who wouldn't have this opportunity all of a sudden grab it and make the most of it and really capitalise on it. So that's the great thing for me. I've been to a number of projects in India. The Magic Bus program is one of my favourites, where it collects kids and it not only gives them opportunities in sport, but it teaches them to be mentors in their community. And education is the greatest tool because you can pass on to the next lot of kids. So for me, that's a great program. So I love getting out there, getting amongst the kids because their enthusiasm is infectious. I mean, they want to be out there, they want to enjoy themselves, and they want to learn.
Yeah,
and that's what sport should be.
100%. I mean, I feel the most important thing for me is gender equality. It's so crucial. And there is discrimination, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. But that is something that I want to always support, and I want to make sure that gender equality has to be there. Equal opportunities for both, equal platform for them to express their talent, to don't clip their wings, let them fly. If there are a few mistakes here and there, that's okay. We are humans, we are going to make mistakes, but to give them the confidence and teach them in the right way what is the right thing to do in life, and that you can only learn if you made few mistakes and there have been few experiences in the past. You learn from those things, and I want to support that. I continue to do that. That is something really, really important to me.
100% agree with that as well. We're agreeing too much, We should maybe play cricket against each other now. You're very friendly, wouldn't it?